Hello, my name is Ashley Ford. For my first video, I am going to talk about being gender made or gender embodiment and the pushing of gender stereotypes throughout the school's education, mostly early childhood education. Gender embodiment is the way in which we experience our bodies in possibly different ways and how to develop our bodies to signal these differences, just like we would use clothing, hairstyles, or accessories. Men and women are taught to use their bodies, to either perform a masculine or feminine way. Gendered embodiment can start at birth and continue throughout childhood and adolescence. There is an assumption that children will follow these social constructs of gender. Girls will like pink, play with dolls, dream of their weddings and future families. They won't get dirty, and they will always act like a lady. Boys, on the other hand, will like blue. They'll play sports, get dirty, go hunting, practice shooting, and they will follow the boys will be boys stereotyping, which means that mischievous or childish behavior is typical of both boys or young men and should not cause for surprise or concern when it occurs. While reading Becoming a Gendered Body, Practices of Preschool by Kay Martin from Unit 1, though it is pointed out that children learn how to perform their gender at an early age because gendering of a child often occurs at a very early age, sometimes even in utero. This is typically learned from families. Preschool is just the tip of the iceberg in the gendering of children's bodies. The gendering in bodies is continued in formal schooling and other institutions such as churches, workplaces, playgroups, and etc. Martin points out that most explicit way that children's bodies become gendered is through their clothes. For example, wearing a dress limits a girl's physicality in preschool. However, it is not only the dress itself, but the knowledge about how to behave in the dress that is restrictive. This knowledge most likely comes from the home or the people dressing them in these dresses. However, from my own experience working in the classroom, girls' clothes are often fussed over or corrected all throughout the school day. Reminding girls who are wearing dresses how to sit on carpet squares while the rest of the students are directed to sit crisscross applesauce, they cannot. They must sit with their legs tucked in at their side, or they must pull down their dress to cover their knees. This in itself is a distraction from learning because this must be kept. They must keep themselves in check that they are meeting these expectations on appearance. They are also corrected to avoid reaching up high to build with blocks, spin, twirl, roll, or crawl on the carpet because the dress does not cover them properly. Through these corrections or expectations, young girls are learning that they must not perform or act like boys. They must keep their movements small and contained. Through limiting large motor play and discovery, such as building with blocks, girls are missing out on crucial math skills, motor skills, spatial awareness skills, hand-eye coordination, divergent thinking, and social and language skills. Books that are offered and read to children, if not carefully monitored, can demonstrate these gender embodiment issues. Books such as I'm Glad I'm a Boy, I'm Glad I am a Girl are reinforcing these socially constructed values throughout the classroom. This book, for example, goes through with boys on one page showing doing a certain activity and girls on the other doing something completely different. Here are a few examples of the pages. Boys are policemen, girls are mermaids. Boys fix things, girls need things fixed. Boys invent things, girls use what boys invent. While books are generally used for broadening horizons and opening minds, continuing to use books like these are perpetuating gender roles or gender embodiment in which a child may feel differently about. They create expectations at an early age that are being reinforced throughout other activities in the classroom, such as dress up or dramatic play. These are areas in which all children can reenact their current living situation, learn social and emotional skills, empathy, communication, abstract thinking, problem solving, literacy. They can learn to coordinate, cooperate, and work on flexible thinking. They can also break down walls of what is expected and pretend to be something or someone else. On familyeducation.com, it states that young kids benefit from play acting roles of their opposite gendered parents or caretakers. Assuming such roles contributes to their social development while allowing them to explore and experiment with a variety of adult roles. So when boys are told that they are in an area only for girls, this causes them to miss out on crucial learning experiences and self-discovery. Not only can these gendered practices in schools prevent learning and cause distraction, there is a health risk that accompanies. In an article on thinkprogress.org titled "Forcing Kids to Stick to Gender Roles Can Actually Be Harmful to Their Health," it states that raising children in societies that adhere to rigid gender roles with fixed ideas about what should be considered masculine and feminine can actually be detrimental to their physical and mental health. Even girls who enjoy sports often avoid physical activity at school because they assume it would not be a feminine thing to do. They worried they might look unattractive while running, or they would be mocked by male peers for not being good enough. The girls put themselves on diets because they believe desirable women have to be skinny. Male participants in the study all faced intense pressure to demonstrate the extent of manliness, which led to everyday low-level violence. This study concluded this constant effort to manage one's everyday life in line with gender norms produces significant anxiety, insecurities, stress, and low self-esteem for both boys and girls, and both for popular young people and those who have lowered statuses in school. Throughout these current practices, schools were teaching children that they must stick to one characteristic, or the gender embodiment in which is their biological sex that they were born with, however they may not associate with, has been proven to be harmful and avoidable. If teachers could open up their expectations and promote that each child has a choice on how they would like to express themselves, and then express to parents that children have a choice even at a young age, children will benefit and learn through acts of play, exploration, and discovery, which can be harmed simply in what a child is wearing. We would be able to incorporate in the beneficial learnings and the teachings to every child.